Okay, this video right here is on what love actually is. I think there's like a lot of confusion as to what love is. And I thought I would make a video, and you're gonna want to watch this video because by the time you get to the end of it, you're gonna be a relationship expert. It's gonna make everything simple and put everything in order. You know, when something's true, since there's only like one truth, it's simple. Whereas lies can be like, there can be an infinite amount of lies and like an infinite amount of chaos and misunderstanding. So, like, all that is like just chaos. But, like, what I'm going to do in this video is like, it's the truth, so it lines everything up and it simplifies it so that it's like really easy to understand. You're like, oh wow, like that was easy. You know, it's like easy to understand. So like that's my goal here. So yeah, I study what love is. So you know, like it's like one of my favorite subjects. I think everybody should like study this, but yeah, the most simple definition of what love is self-giving. And then the key is the opposite. It's using others. So you have loving and then you have using. And these are acts of the will. Okay? That's a key right there. Now, in the middle is indifference. It's where you don't do anything at all. You know, it's like not like an act of the will. But with loving, uh, think of a child. You give your works of your hands, you give your time, you give your intellect, you give your wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you give your emotions. Like you literally give your flesh and blood, like everything that you are, you give to your child. And then the more that you give, the stronger and stronger your bond becomes. Now, with using, it's the opposite, okay? What people do is they confuse using and loving, and then they love what they get from the other. So what this does is it causes the opposite effect, you know? Like when you have one person that knows that the other one is willing to give of themselves, it makes them want to give more. And when they give more, the other one's like, wow, you're willing to give that much to me. It makes them want to give even more to the other. So, like, whenever you're in a relationship, the more and more each want to give, it's like the stronger and stronger your bond becomes, and the more that it makes you want to love the other because they've given so much. So it like leads to happily ever after. Whereas using is like the opposite effect. It's an act of the will where they're unwilling to give of themselves. And when one's unwilling to give of themselves, it makes the other one unwilling to give of themselves. And then once they realize the other one is unwilling to give of themselves, it makes them not want to do it, and it just keeps driving their bond farther and farther apart. And another key to this is the virtues. The virtues are the mark, okay? Like this is like another key to this. The virtues are the mark. They're like inner strengths. And now in Hebrew, there is a word, like a lot of people, this word like shocks them or whatever, but like the word sin in Hebrew means miss the mark. And it's an old archery term where they had a bullseye, and then like if you miss the mark, that was sin. Sin literally means miss the mark. So like the virtues are these inner strengths, and they're the mark, whereas the sins are where you miss the mark. Okay, so there's this really really smart guy like thousands of years ago, and like people have been using this for like thousands of years, so it's like tried and proven. So It's like it's how the dictionary's like written. It's like in the dictionary, like you can't get rid of it. It's like in the languages themselves. It's like completely fixed into like humanity itself, into our languages. All the virtues and like all the sins. But yeah, there's a really smart guy, King Solomon. He took all this chaos because there's all these sins, there's all these virtues and stuff, and they're just all over the place. And then what he did is he figured out that there's 7 categories that like all these chaotic sins fit into. They fit into one of these 7 categories. So all you have to do is learn these 7 deadly sins. So there's pride and envy, there's wrath, there's greed, there's sloth, and then there's lust and gluttony. So there's your 7 deadly sins. Like pride is someone who's always trying to be in control of everything. They're like control freaks. They're in love with themselves, because like pride stems from self love. And the opposite virtue would be like humility. And then you have like envy. It's where you see somebody's goods temporal, or like they may be more spiritual than you or something like that, but like you see it, and then it's like what you see in them, you feel as though you're lacking, and it makes you sad, and you wish that they didn't have it. But like the opposite virtue is like joy at the success or whatever of another. So like it like they're what they have like brings joy in you, and but that's like how you fix the sins. You find out what the opposite virtues are, but all you have to do is learn these seven deadly sins and then the opposite virtues, so that comes up to the synonyms and antonyms. You have the sins and you find the antonyms to fix it. So in a relationship, you find out like what the problem is, like what one of the sins that it falls under, and then you find the opposite virtue to fix it, and it makes it like way easier. And then if you like once you know the category that it kind of fits under, you look up a whole bunch of synonyms until you find out exactly what it is, and then you look up the exact antonym, you know. So you that's how it works. So it's all in the dictionary. Like you can like look this up and like um yeah, like that's how you like fix it. But uh yeah, I hope all of this is helping, but yeah, that's how all of this works. And I think I've gone over everything, but yeah, it's like it's a really simple system. Like and you can help your children, because you don't want your children to be like full of sin, because it like the sins all of the sins like drive people apart, and then they build up like in a relationship, and you don't want your kids to have to go through that, because it makes you like completely miserable. So to stay out of the misery, like when people use each other and they're unwilling to give, it just drives them more apart and makes them more miserable, and they don't fix the sin that they have. You know, like it's so wonderful knowing that the other one is willing to give, and like when you learn all these virtues, it gives you the ability to fix things instead of being confused about what to do and just lashing out at the others and getting in arguments and stuff like that. So, but I guess I'll end the video there for right now so that it's short, but I'll try to make more videos. Like give like thumbs up and likes to this video if you want more videos. And I may, if they become like popular or something, I'll put them onto my other channel, and then I'll tell you what my other channel is. But thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.